Welcome back to Sunless Sea. Okay, time to set out on another voyage. Well, I don't have a lot of... I should buy some supplies. I got a bunch of fuel. Alright, let's go to the... dry dock. And let's see, how much do I have? I have 14 favor, I have 13 fuel. How much room do I have? I got a bunch of room because I got rid of those 10 casks of mushroom lime. So let's get 3 fuel and 3 fuel. 19, that should be good for a while. I have 11 more capacity. I need to buy some supplies. Yeah, let's just fill up the hold. Alright, good. 19 fuel, 14 supplies. Tear, a little higher than I'd like leaving port, but not too bad. Whole bunch of money. I can buy more fuel when I'm out at sea. But I might not need to, considering how much I have, so time to make a voyage. One thing I absolutely need to do is go to the Is there anything actually down here? I doubt it. I've never actually gone down this like channel right here. I might do it now just to get rid of this fog of war because I'm curious. But what I really need to do is get to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go south, stop by Mutton Island, the Cuvian Canal, the Iron Republic, Zelos Town, go up here. Well, actually, when I go through the Iron Republic, maybe I'll go through this way and then over to Zelos Town. And then I'll skirt around the southern edge here. Maybe try to unlock some of this, and then go up to the Fathom King's Hold, and then we'll take it from there. There's probably nothing down here. I've got my lights on right now. There's really no terror around here because I'm right next to them. But I'm curious about... Yeah, there's nothing here. What I really want to do is save up the 7,000 echoes that I need to buy a merchant ship. And I can carry a hell of a lot more stuff. Something over there. It's probably a crab. I can't see it because my light is off. My tear is really not rising very fast right now, so I might as well keep my light off. Yeah, there's the crab. It's coming for me. It's alright. I have no desire to fight it. I might kill this one if he's right in front of me. Report. This just lowers terror. I don't want the Wretched Mug. I like my Albino Tinkerer just fine as my mascot. Fuel and supplies are expensive here. I don't need any, so I'm out. Yeah, I'm just going to leave those crabs be. I could have killed one of them to lower my hunger, but it's really not that high, so... Yeah, terror's still rising fast here, even though it's lit up. Here we go, it's back to green. I try to maximize my fuel by turning off my lights, whatever terror is not that high. Well, if I had 5 more fuel, I could get to the surface. But I don't. So, let's just get a port report. I could buy the fuel here, but I don't have enough room in my hold to even do it. So, straight south to the Iron Republic. I'm purposely skirting the edge here. I just kind of seeing if I could get rid of this fog of war. I know there's nothing here, but it's kind of an OCD thing. I see fog of war, I want to remove it. Sailing this close to land seems to increase terror less anyway. Makes sense. I feel a little more comfortable when you can actually see land. Knowing that if, you know, the ship blows up, you could probably swim to shore. There is a vessel that is not attacking me, which is good because it would blow me up. Oh, seek help for Loki. Oh crap, I don't have the Scintillac. Okay. Alright, so I need to remember that. If I can get a couple more Scintillac, I don't sell it here today, no. Then I can get some help for Loki. Alright. Let's get a port report. Got a Tale of Terror, a Memory of Distant Shores, and the page. Alright, cool. Let's go to the Market of Hungers. On days such as this, the market is filled with crucified dragons and laws in waiting. They whistle a welcome. Gained 1 terror, and that's it. Oh, visit the shops tab. The merchants and their doctrine mass will accept echoes. Oh. Ah! Alright. Cool, new stuff to buy. Sacks of dark drop coffee beans. Okay. Fuel, wow, really cheap fuel. I have 5 room in the hold. Alright, let's buy some coffee beans. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it's gonna do me any good, but and I might as well fill up my hold. 1, 2 more fuel. Anything else I want to do in here while I'm here? No, that's all I can do. Alright, cool. So from here, sail this way, try to clear this out, and then over to Zelos Town. Hopefully this here dreadnought is friendly. I don't have any issues with the Iron Republic that I know of, so I think he'll leave me alone. Or not. He's aware of me anyway. Turn my light off. I don't want to get shot by this dude. Alright. Yep. Sees me now. And he's firing. And that hurt. And that hurt. Wow. Damn, dude. Wow. Well, I'm out now. That was rough. Wow. Okay. Not a friendly sort. Must have smelled the Londoner on me. I could stop to fix the ship. It would cost me some supplies. Might be worth doing, though. Alright, that's good enough. Let's go. I can't move it. Can I stop it midway? I guess it doesn't stop until it's fully... Wow, that cost me a lot of supplies. I don't think that was worth it. Alright, hopefully I have... I mean, I have plenty of money, but I need to find somewhere that will... Subway... Oh, the port is right there. I'm an idiot. Maybe Zelos Town sells supplies. Or no shop, of course not. Okay. Well, the only thing I can do is ask to speak with someone in authority. Okay. The Commodore shakes your hand warmly. He's a handsome, open-faced fellow in an immaculate Navy uniform. His office is equally handsome. It overlooks the glittering interior crystal cliff. It must be as well lit as any study underneath. He deflects questions about the purpose of this installation. Classified, you know. Smiling up. I've read this before. Lost 5 terror, gain the memory of distant shores. The light gets pretty. Okay, so from here, I guess it's time to go east. Skirt along the bottom here. Definitely gonna need to get some supplies somewhere. Fixing up my ship was definitely not worth it. Man, that cost me a lot of supplies. Port Carnelian. Maybe they sell supplies here. Whatever those things are, they don't look friendly. Fallen London's sole imperial possession, treasure. London's first Unterzee colony sweats under a blanket of southern heat. To the right of the dock, the Sapphire mines yawn. To the left, the governor's house stands, prim as an elderwood mansion. Behind lies the fungal jungle, mostly in white and violet. Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop. That probably reduces terror. 20 Echo. Cross House. First things first, I need a port report. Ooh, help Maybe's daughter search for her mother. We'll do that, but first things first, port report. Oh. Okay. Guess I can't get a port report. Doesn't look like it. Well, let's do some of these things. I guess I gotta establish a network first. First things first. Shops, yes. Yeah, they're not that expensive either. Supplies are pretty cheap here. Sapphire Exchange. Ah, they buy and sell. Well, I couldn't get anything for my beans. Maybe I'll get some at London, though. Sure. Basket of sapphires. Alright, first things first. How much do I have in the hold? 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that should be good for now. Okay, so let's see. Call it Heat Cross House. Talk to a tiger in the Blue Bazaar. Call out a room above a bookshelf. Let's do that. The diplomats of the Khanate were expelled from Port Carnelian following the Galatia incident. Only one remains behind. Not in any official capacity, you understand. Off the record. No, I'm retired now, he tells you cheerfully. His crockery is white as the moon, and rimmed with gold. Over tea, he comments sympathetically on the governor's difficulties. I feel for the man, I really do. And asks probing questions regarding your travels. You managed to squeeze in a few of your own. Oh, the Khan is very fond of sapphires. Blue is his favorite color. Ah, that got me a port report. Very nice. Alright, let's help Maybe's daughter. Still not a very good chance, but every time I do this, there's the chance increases. This one's a slender lead. She's been seen wearing sapphires, the daughter shrugs. This is where sapphires come from. Look, you were heading this way anyway, weren't you? Weren't you? No luck. She hasn't been here in forever. I don't think she's coming back. So that's one port eliminated. And I did pick up some sapphires here and there. Alright, oh, I got a casket of sapphires. Alright. Could pan for sapphires in the jungle. A very slim chance. This is what kind of? This is an iron challenge. And that's it. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's go to Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop and drop some terror. Behind the window, spoons clink on china. They import the doilies from London, but the tea is local. Blue and smoky. The crumpets are warm, the tablecloth's white. You can almost imagine you were back in the Vale Garden, except for the tiger lounging on the divan. It laps tea from an azure bowl and complains about the recent nostalgic trend in poetry. Lost 20 Echo, lost 5 terror. That's a decent trade-off. I think I'm done here. I could buy Solace fruit, but they're very expensive here. I'd rather get them from... I might buy some more caskets of sapphires. I bet I could sell them for a pretty penny back in London. I have a little room. Let's buy 2. Okay. Alright, I'm in good shape. I'm going to try to avoid those birds, or whatever they are, and skirt along the edge here. Turn up my light. Okay, that's a bad idea. Let's just avoid those whatever they are altogether. Oh, got some vortexes. Crap, they're coming my way. No, they're going back away. Good, good, good. Guys, leave. Now. That is some mighty uninviting looking fog right there. That looks downright nasty. What was that? Crying Heights? Oh, I missed that. I wasn't looking at that. Crying Heights is some distance to the east. Well, let's go there. Almost through the fog. Doesn't look like there's a port here, though, unfortunately. Drop these rocks. Maybe I'll swing down there anyway, just to make sure. Doesn't look like there's any towns or anything, but okay, that's a waste of time. Keep going east and then north to Fathom King's Hole. Oh no. Oh crap. No, 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 no. Wow, those things do some damage. There's a light ship. Be able to get a Z story. Nothing else. It's a light ship. We do have some recent news, and I can get fuel. Yeah, I might do that. It's not super expensive. I mean, it's more expensive than London, but still. They long for news of home. In the bleaching glare of the lens among the smells of oil and meat, you sip tea and chat. The Z's terror recedes. A Z story, Lost 5 Terror. It's definitely worth it. Alright, I'm gonna chill here until these birds get out of here. Maybe they'll go after this ship. Let's get out of here. This Salamander tramp steamer. Adams Way is a long way to the southeast. Well, let's go there. It's the opposite direction I want to go to get to Fathom King's Hole, but I also want to explore and find some new places. There's Adams Way. Oh, there's a port. Sweet. On a bed of monumental ruins, warehouses and way stations of shroom timbers rise. Shops here? They sure do. Not that outrageously expensive either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All ships that approach Adam's Way are intercepted by the Gracious, the Presbytero's splendidly head-dressed coast guards. A quaint but inviolable tradition governs entry. You must tell them one of 3 stories. In return, you will be permitted to spend a single day in the port. Well, I don't have recent news, unfortunately. I just used that. I don't have an unread log. I don't have a port report from Mount Palmerston, so I am not going to be let in. So I'm out. Okay, that was a waste of time. Yeah, fine. Straight north to the Fathom King's Hold. That is something I probably don't want to mess with. Well, that sucked. Didn't do a lot of damage though. And I'm out. First things first, report. Now, I have a Z story and I can get an audience with the Fathom King. The Fathom King is the lord of the drownies, those dead who won't stop swimming. By some accounts, he's the lord of all who die at sea. Bring him a story to tickle his curiosity. Speaking of the porter has the skin of a shark. She has a drowned woman's eyes. It is not permitted to look at her hands. Yes, she gasps. That story is sufficient. She opens the valves of pearl and permits you to pass into the conduit. The throne cyst. This is the salt brown heart of the hold. The Fathom King floats in his throne, a gem-starred bowl of sea scum, the size of a banqueting table. He's wearing a dressing gown of purple brocade soaked dark with salt water. He leans his chin calmly on his hand, beneath the surface of the water in his throne. His hidden regent's pulse constant and insistent. I can gain a crew this way. That's expensive. That costs Syntholac. Visitor, ask a boon. The most important thing is discuss the matter of my father's bones. Your complexity. I have a more personal petition. You know something of my father, or what remains of him. His complexity is watching you. His eyes are cold as polished stones, but a smile lurks at the corner of his mouth, like an eel in ambush. was Mr. Voluminous? His complexity is watching you. His eyes are cold as polished stone. Who was Mr. Voluminous? Why was the Fathom King sending parcels to him? Come now. I will give you the address you need for the small consideration we discussed, but I won't share personal information so easily. I have my business with the masters of the bazaar. It's not always a pleasant business, he shrugs. There are ripples. One has one's duties. You can review the Fathom King's requests in the curiosities section of your gazetteer. Let's ask for assistance. Your complexity. There's a question only you can answer to open the final gate of my journey to my father's bones. I ask this boon of you. Little favors. You are fortunate, the Fathom King announces. I have only a few small requests. Fulfill them, and I shall tell you what you need to know. And bring me the heart of a legend. Bring me a light from the sky. Bring me a willing guest to stay with me forever. Witness the end of the eldest among its kind. Bring me word. Bring me the fruit of an eternal tree. And bring me something scientific, modern, cutting edge, I believe is the term. My bride enjoys that sort of thing. He sits back under regions pulsing with expectation. You seem quite capable, he adds carelessly. I'm sure it's not too much trouble. Wow, that's a lot of stuff he wants. Okay, so he wants a willing guest, an account of the eldest end, fruit of eternal tree, skylight. That probably means going to the surface. Legend's heart, miracle of science. Wow, well, that's, yeah. Let's watch a visager. Crocodile moves around the corpse offering on a bier. Clockwise. He indicates its wounds to the Fathom King. Why is he here? Another right. Crocodile is describing the wounds on the body, but the wounds he describes don't match the wounds you see. This is another visage ritual. He sounds like he's boasting, but a single tear trickles down from beneath its mask. At last the king nods. The offering is acceptable, he says. Torn armored guards carry the bier through a dark slit behind his throne. The king begins, offhandedly, to outline the cartography of the deep undersea and the patrol routes of the monsters. He notices your presence and snaps his fingers. The guard ushers you out, but not before you heard the valuable, deep gossip, and you understand a little more. Visage lore. Crocodile has given his body to another kind of flood. I gained a Z story and 30 fragments. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, let's see. I could go to Visage, I'm right there. I kind of want to explore some more. I think I'm going to go this way. Great, these things that slow your progress down to a crawl. So far they have it. Now I got slowed down. Varkas is a long way to the southeast. Well, to Varkas we go. While I'm here, this far east, I might hit up the Empire Hands. Wow, that's a long way north, but probably wind up making my way there so I could drop off that explorer lady I picked up. Varkas, the mirrored city where light was always the law. The walled city of Varkas is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers, slow blooming around moldering stone. A quincunx of carved steep towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varkas. Two towering carved stone lamps throw their light onto the angled mirrors, and a blue-cloaked guard stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the Elder Continent. In the far distance, a vast mountain glimmers. Choke on the smell. The Zailers wave me over. Ask a few questions. First things first, compile a report. Do they have shops here? No. Alright. Choke on the smell. Zailers wave me over. Ask the guard a few questions. Let's choke on the smell. It is overpowering, sweet. It comes from the fungus growing wild all over the city's stones. The flowers have white, waxy leaves which leave powdery traces on your fingers. The light coming from the city has the same camphorous quality, and the smell. Perfume worn too many days on the body. Unread books left to turn to ink-stained pulp. A garden drowned and rotting in still water. Sailors wave me over. They are sitting on some upturned crates on the docks, playing a game with mirrored chips and stylized snakes made of bone. You're not thinking of going in there, the sailors gawk at you in unconcealed horror. They take turns telling you gruesome stories of Varkas, which they no doubt invented while whole cloth. Some are convinced that the Varkasi renders sailors into tallow to light their city. Others say they steal shadows and sell them to their masters. All of them are convinced that they blind any strangers who dare to gaze too long upon their city's secrets. We're just waiting to be paid, and then we're off. One of the sailors says nervously, fingering the mirror chip, I've only got one eye left, and I'd like to keep it. Well, let's ask the guard a few questions. Never a bad idea to gather a little intelligence before heading into the unknown waters, or cities as the case may be. The blue-cloaked guard only acknowledges your existence when you step out of the darkness of the path and into the light from the lamps. The guard stands in the middle of the pool of light, looking warily at the darkness behind you. Up close, the guard's blue cloak is threadbare and mossy, adorning along the hem. A pattern of embroidered suns runs along the collar, but the gold thread is dull. The kohl around the eyes is smudged. Well, Thomas, she asks, are you going to ask your questions, or are you just going to stare? Her tone is brusque, but her expression is curiously eager. You do not think Varkas receives many visitors. Say my name is not Thomas. Maybe that's their term for foreigner. Ask about the light. Ask about her. Ask about the city's customs. Let's ask about the light. It all seems a bit wasteful. possibly even ostentatious. We must always walk in Mihir's light, so we burn our lamps night and day to banish darkness from the mirrored city, she tells you proudly. If we let darkness corrupt us, we would not be Varkasi any longer. But Thomas, like you. Yeah, it's probably a word for foreigner. You wonder, is that so terrible a fate? Her mocking laugh answers you even before her words do. Yes, it would be terrible indeed, Thomas. And before you ask, she adds, no, I do not have any desire to leave Varkas. The rest of the Neve has fallen from Mihir's grace, and I have no wish to join them. Does she like her job? Does anyone? It is a great honor to guard the mirrored gates, she snaps defensively. She gestures to the edge of the pool of light illuminating her post. It is very dangerous. Even a small stumble and I could fall into the dark, the voice goes thready. I would be banished from Mihir's grace. I would lose my name. That is why they only send the bravest outside the walls. Well, let's ask about the customs. Best to know before you flout them. Easier to plan an escape route that way. Don't touch the mirrors. Don't even look into the mirrors, she says, her voice hard. And try very hard not to dream. Were you expecting something along the lines of don't murder anyone or only wear red on special occasions? Still, you nod and smile. Alright, let's try to go in. Well, what else are gates for, if not to go through? She makes a mark in her ledger before ringing a brass bell. The mirrors of the gates rearrange to give you space to pass, but never once allow a shadow to touch the guard. Our ways are not yours, Thomas. Remember that, and walk in the light of me here. Your eyes are blinded by the brilliance of the light. The verdant rot smell is even thicker. The heat of so much flame and reflected light presses oppressively against your skin. Your head pounds. It is a few minutes before your eyes adjust and you can look around. Brass lamps and gilded scones hanging from every wall, and phosphorescent fungus grows moss-like upon doorways and ceilings. Cunningly arranged mirrors catch every droplet of light and diffuse it till each cobblestone and rampart of the city is drenched and blazing and utterly without shadow. Who do you speak to? Alright. Can I get a port report? I gotta talk to one of these guys. Alright. Talk to the firekeeper, the white cloak guard, the fungus carter, the jeweled turbaned youth. Let's talk to the jeweled turbaned youth. He's winking at you. That is a furtive wink, or a flirtatious one. Only one way to find out. He looks utterly overjoyed to make your acquaintance, the bangles on his wrists flashing as he presses his hands together in greeting. My friends and I would be honored if you would attend a small gathering with us, Thomas. We are so eager to hear about the world outside Varkas city walls. It seems an innocuous enough invitation, but then why does his gaze dart around so anxiously as he tells you how to find his mansion in the Eastern District? Let's talk to the firekeeper. Dressed all in saffron, a pair of thick fireproof gloves dangle from a silver chain at her waist. I'm too important to play guide to you, Thomas, she tells you before you even open your mouth. I'm the keeper of the Western Principal Mirror. She points up at the enormous multifaceted mirror set atop each of the city's 5 towers. I'm only here because I'm looking for my idiot brother. He's probably busy pouring wine down some pretty dark-eyed boy's throat in the tavern. It is a matter of great urgency, you wonder. He's late for his lamp checks in the Sacred District. In her terse reply, as she hurries away. If the Agnihotri found out, he'd be lucky to end up a lake dredger. Gain the memory of distant shores. Full guard. The suns embroidered on his cloak are picked out with gold thread, and the edge is jeweled with carnelian. Thomas, he presses his hands together in greeting, and gives you an anguished look. You look terrible. Are you sick with a terrible outsider's disease? Or is that what your nose is naturally like? Over your protestations, he gives you directions to the hospital. Oh, the medics are all butchers, to be sure, but they walk in the light of me here, he adds breezily, and then points out the guardhouse in the vague direction of the temple of me here, and the street of bars and gaming houses. We don't want to get a reputation for being inhospitable. He laughs as if he made a grand joke, and you laugh along weakly. Gain a fragment. How solid. Okay. Time to venture further than the outer district. The mirrored city gleams invitingly. You'll get used to the smell in time. Entertainment in Varkas, the hospital, guardhouse, temple of me here, mansion with the jewel turbaned youth, the inn, can't go there, pilgrimage to Amaradri, can't do that. Alright, let's accept this invitation. It is in the Eastern District. Well, he did invite you after all. You are not entirely sure what you were expecting from the jewel-turbaned youth's invitation. Perhaps a candlelit dinner and genteel seduction. Turns out to be an evening of card games and chilled wine with his rather eclectic collection of friends. But as the wine is drunk and the cards are played, the gathering takes on a certain political tone. A raggedly dressed artisan begins complaining of the Agnihotri's trade restrictions. A novice priest points out contradictions in Mihir's mantras. A stone carver questions whether his daughter should also have to follow in the same profession. Will you, the jewel-turbaned youth stares at you, licking his lips, will you tell us a story? I do have Z-stories, yes. I can decline, I can tell them of myself. I can invent a fanciful tale. And I have a very good chance. You can tell a wanderer's tale. A less good chance. Let's invent a fanciful tale. It's practically a sailor's profession. Your crew would have enjoyed this tale and probably added their own asides and embellishments. Still, you couldn't have hoped for a more appreciative audience. They gasp and moan and shudder guiltily as the story comes to a climax. Afterwards, the jewel-turbaned youth takes you by the hand. His own is shaking, and his skin is clammy. We are forbidden from the trickery of storytelling in Varkas, he tells you hoarsely. I have never heard anything so sublime. Ah, sweet, I got a searing enigma. Okay. Well, let's see. Entertainment, hospital, guardhouse, temple. Well, let's get some entertainment. There are bars and gaming houses to the west. Hopefully this will reduce my terror a bit. Follow the clink of wine glasses and the companionable shouts. There are many available. Mihir is not a Puritan god. The nicer establishments in the city are lit with expensive imported gas and have little blue glowing scintillax statues scattered on the shelves. What takes your fancy? Okay, I can join the gaming table. 56% chance. The arguing priests, 75% chance. The duelists, 50-50. Alright, let's go with the arguing priest. It's my best chance of success. They are having a wine-drenched debate at one of the tables in the back. Do you care to listen in? No, no, no! The initiate shakes her fist at the irate novice. You cannot undermine a heard text with mantras from a remembered one. Apparently the difference is this. Heard texts were cosmic truths whispered by Mihir himself to the ancient sages. Remembered texts do not claim such illustrious origins and are merely passed down wisdom. The difference might seem trivial to you, but apparently this is a subject of heated theological debate. A few of the other patrons look on indulgently and offer bits of scripture or shouted exhortation. Gained 18 fragments. Well, I can't do this, can't do any of this anymore. I can go to the inn, and that's the only place I can go. At the evening, after the 5th bell, each Thomas is assigned a room. The light is endless and merciless. Will you sleep? All visitors to Varkas are given one night's accommodations in the city's only inn. It is a handsome stone mansion arranged around a pleasantly cool courtyard. Frescoes of city life are painted on the walls. Given how few visitors Varkas hosts, you suspect the inn is more usually used by philandering locals. Evening falls. Or does it? The town's 5 principal mirrors are mounted on the coiled spring mechanism and alter their angles subtly to create the impression of the evening. Across the city, the firekeepers throw pinches of colored powder into the lamps, and the quality of light yellows to a softer brightness. Alright, the wine maze lamplighter. The kitchens, 77% chance. The courtyard, 80% chance. Sleep. Don't sleep. Not a very good chance. Alright, let's go to the courtyard. Cushions are arrayed and the marble fountain in the middle. Musicians pluck their instruments under the shade of the twisted yellow leaf trees. Their songs are curiously prosaic, the lyrics more like a biographical report than a poetic invention. You listen to a lake dredger's waterlogged, lotus-rooted dirge. You sway to the slow, steady ballad of the fungus collectors and join in the lamplighters' quick-footed dance which mimics their evening rounds. The evening finishes with the Song of Mihir, which is sung to the accompaniment of stringed instruments and drums and polished glass prisms, which split the white light into rainbows in counterpoint to the notes. 5 fragments, lost 2 terror. Gained 3 memories of distant shores, very nice. And it's time to either sleep or not sleep. Let's just sleep. The bed is low and wide and draped with cotton sheets, stamped with vegetable dye patterns in muted green and blue. You fall into sleep easily despite the bright light, but your dreams are full of whispering, glittering smokes, mirror vapors that coil into reflection warping shapes. You see your limbs bend, your skin slough, your eyes twist. You wake with your heart pounding. Your nostrils are full of fungal rot smell of Varkas. Your body is as it always was, but somehow this is not as comforting as it should be. Alright, gained 10 terror, damn. And I got a menace, dream of smoke. Dawn in Varkas. Outsider time in Varkas is strictly rationed. Each morning at dawn, the guard visits the inn to eject any Thomas they find. They are polite but very definite. Into the dark. Return, the guard tells you, but not yet. With that, they usher you into the darkness beyond the walls. You blink, mirror dazzles from your eyes. It's cold out there. And gain some more terror. Alright. So we'll leave off here and we'll pick up the voyage and sail north or northeast next time.